Welcome to a quick tour of Nigeria's vibrant states, their capitals, and unique slogans. Let's begin with Abia, whose capital is Umuahia, proudly known as God's own state. Next, we have Adamawa, with Yola as its capital, celebrated as the land of beauty. Akwa Ibom's capital is Uyo, famously known as the land of promise. Anambra, with Awka as its capital, shines as the light of the nation. Bauchi, whose capital is Bauchi, is known as the pearl of tourism. Bayelsa's capital is Yenagoa, proudly called the glory of all lands. Benue, with Makurdi as its capital, is the food basket of the nation. Borno, whose capital is Maiduguri, is known as the home of peace. Cross River, with Calabar as its capital, is famously the people's paradise. Delta, whose capital is Asaba, is known as the Big Heart. Ebonyi, with Abekoliki as its capital, is the salt of the nation. Edo, whose capital is Benin City, is the heartbeat of the nation. Ekiti, with Ado-Ekiti as its capital, is the land of honor and integrity. Enugu, whose capital is Enugu, is known as the coal city state. Gom, with Gom as its capital, is the jewel of the savannah. Imo, whose capital is Owerri, is the eastern heartland. Jigawa, with Dot as its capital, is known as the New World. Kaduna, whose capital is Kaduna, is the center of learning. Kano, with Kano as its capital, is the center of commerce. Katsina, whose capital is Katsina, is the home of hospitality. Kebbi, with Birnin Kebbi as its capital, is the land of equity. Kogi, whose capital is Lokoja, is known as the Conference State. Kwara, with Ilorin as its capital, is the state of harmony. Lagos, whose capital is Ikeja, is the center of excellence. Nasarawa, with Lafia as its capital, is the home of solid minerals. Niger, whose capital is Minna, is known as the power state. Ogun, with Abeokuta as its capital, is the gateway state. Ondo, whose capital is Akure, is the sunshine state. Osen, with Osogbo as its capital, is the land of virtue. Oyo, whose capital is Ibadan, is the pace-setter state. Plateau, with Jos as its capital, is the home of peace and tourism. Rivers, whose capital is Port Harcourt, is the treasure base of the nation. Sokoto, with Sokoto as its capital, is the seat of the caliphate. Taraba, whose capital is Jalingo, is nature's gift to the nation. Yobe, with Damaturu as its capital, is the pride of the Sahel. Zamfara, whose capital is Gusau, proudly declares famine is our pride.